You and your husband launched the blog Black and Married with Kids.
Yes.
And it takes off. And you have 500,000 fans on Facebook and then 1 million readers every quarter. Talk about it.
Yes, yes. So, yeah, in 2007, well, so first of all, my husband Lamar has always been an entrepreneur. That's his thing. Whereas I left college and only worked for one company for 17 years.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So that was my
Yeah.
mindset. So it took a lot for him to get me to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I said, get a job. I didn't understand it. So he worked for 5 years, probably tortured because I just didn't feel that security.
Yeah.
And so after about 5 years, he came home and he said, let's start a blog together because he was doing websites at his job. And I said, okay. And we decided to do a blog that's something we both could write about. And that was marriage, family, relationships. You know, at the time in 2007, it was just the thing in media to have negative images of Black relationships and pitting the Black woman against the Black man, and the Black woman is single and she can't find a man. It was
2007,
everywhere.
Ronnie, that's 2025.
It's now, yes. And so when we started Black and Married with Kids, we said, you know, my parents had been married a long time. He'd seen marriages that had been successful, and so we wanted to put a positive image of marriage in the African American community, and that was like our theme, and it was something that we both could write about because we wanted to do something that we wouldn't get bored doing,
Yeah.
right, and that we both could write about, and so that's what we did in 2007 with that.
I mean, 2007, Black and Married with Kids takes off. And it spawns you into doing movies as
Right.
well, because not only did you start talking about family and relationships, you guys really leaned in on the conversation of closing the wealth gap.
Yes, yes. And so, yeah, you know, our mission was to uplift and support like families and relationships in the African American community through our resources. And, you know, Lamar, because he worked at a TV station and he had a lot of contacts, he had a friend that did a documentary film. And he was like, oh, we could do that. And I said, yeah, we could. And so we were like, how could we get our message out there more? Let's do a movie. And that's when we started to do like full-length documentary films on marriage, relationships, blended families, generational wealth. But we thought that that was just a way for us to be able to like get our message out there more. And then Lamar was really always entrepreneurial minded. And he thought, okay, this is a way that we could have a revenue stream as well.
Yeah. Talk about getting this message out. I mean, in that progression, you found that Black entrepreneurs needed a space to not only get the message out that they could become entrepreneurs, but a safe space for them to learn more and grow as entrepreneurs.
Yes, yes. So we definitely found that. You know, when we started doing our marriage movies, first they were just about like couples and their relationships. Then we did a movie for men that flopped because then we realized, okay, who is our avatar? Women. Women are bringing these people in. So we were like, we're never going to do that again. But then we did a movie called Generational Wealth.
Yeah.
And that movie took off. That was our most profitable movie. We probably made like in 1 year, like 7 figures off of selling $25 DVDs, right?
Wow.
So that movie really, really took off. But here's the thing. We started off as bloggers, and eventually we turned into marketers and into like true like entrepreneurs. And we did that by getting ourselves in those spaces. And so we started to go to marketing conferences, and we never saw people that looked like us at all. We never saw them. And so it was our mission to say, we're going to bring this back to our community. Because the one thing that we knew is that if we wanted to strengthen the community, we had to also focus on wealth. We had to also focus on like really closing that wealth gap, because we knew that financial empowerment, that was the real power for us as far as our voice in our community. And so we really started to take a turn. And so, yes, we do have a mission to uplift our community, but now it's through entrepreneurship.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, you said that uplift the community. I mean, but really, y'all true uplift starts at home.
Yes.
Because you're a blended family. You know, you all have also had to implement some rules in rules of engagement in doing business as a couple. One of the things I read that was really good, I said, girl, we got to talk about this, the code of conduct. Because we get into business and we think it's one thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, oh, I got this great idea. But now to get in business as a couple, well, that adds a whole lot of layers because we don't get to leave each other.
Right.
You know, we don't get to, you go home from the office and you leave it there. Everything centers at the home. And you guys had to create some rules of engagement.
Yes,
What's that?
yes. So we created our couple's code of conduct. And I can tell you that really Black and Married with Kids was the foundation. Just being around like the therapist and the marriage resources, it really, really helped our marriage because we were young. Had only been married for 2 years when we started Black and Married with Kids.
Oh, wow.
And so we weren't therapists. And sometimes people say, well, what gives you the right to start something like this? We just provided the platform. We were business people. We provided the platform, and we had therapists and relationship writers and bloggers. At one point, we had over 40 writers.
Over 40 writers.
Yes. And
Yeah.
so, but having that part of our business and part of our marriage, it really helped our marriage to grow. And so it wasn't something that we knew naturally. We learned it through the communication courses and things like that. We also learned it based off of some of the couples we saw in Black and Married with Kids and things not to do.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm sure.
Oh, look at how she talked to him in public. We're not going to do that. Let's write that down.
Yeah.
You know,
What
So-
not to say on Facebook.
Right, right. So the couple's code of conduct really came from everything that we learned with Black and Married with Kids, right? And so the couple's code of conduct are the rules that govern really having a successful business as couples. And the first thing is respect, right? You don't want to have a business partner that you can't respect. And so we always have that level of respect for each other, especially in front of just anybody outside the house, but especially in front of our clients, in front of our employees. And so you're not going to see us arguing in front of the employees, the clients, or whatever. Number one, it doesn't make them feel safe or secure. Would you
Right.
work for a couple and they're always arguing
Yeah.
and you know there's something going on at home? No, you're going to be like, oh, this company's going down.
Yeah, I'm on
right?
a sinking ship.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And so it's a matter of just having that respect for each other at all times. The second thing is like that trust and accountability. You have to do what you say you're going to do. And you have to be trustworthy. Would you have a business partner that you don't trust? And so a lot of times people go into business with a spouse that they don't trust. Like your spouse is cheating on you, but you want to use your 401k for a business,
Talk
you know?
about
And
it.
so
Clock that
why would
tea.
you go into business with someone that you don't trust?
Yeah.
But people always think it's about cheating, and it's not. It's about those little things every day that you destroy the trust on. You say you're going to take the trash out, but you don't. You say you're going to pay this bill, but you don't, like on time. You say you're going to do these things with the kids, but you don't. And so those things break down the trust as well. And so it's about trust and doing what you say you're going to do. So that was the second thing.
That's so good because I think that so often we think so much about getting to the bag. Like, girl, we just got to make this money. So we just going to do it. But you're not
Right.
thinking about the foundation and the integrity and the character of somebody
Yes.
is going to, that bad behavior in one area is going to show up in another area.
Right.
If that blessed you, trust me, you've only scratched the surface. There's so much more wisdom, truth, and transformation waiting in the full conversation. Click the link in the caption below to watch the entire interview, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode of Vault Empowers Talks.